Right, hello, welcome back. As you would have seen from the thumbnail, we're doing an MX-5. So, there's a long story with the Golf. You're probably wondering, what happened to that. Long story, I'm not getting into it. But anyway, let's move on. So, MX-5, let's go. Oh, there she is. She's called Mia. It's a Mark 2.5, 1.6. Needs a bit of work, you know. As you can see, it's not the cleanest examples of cars, but basically today's video we're going to be putting new speakers in and sorting the interior out, because so what I'm doing here is I'm basically just putting some crimps on the end of the wires to then join to the aftermarket speakers. It took me ages to find these crimps, and I had to actually make them fit in the end anyway. Now, I was just going to solder it, but over time solder will crack, so this is why I use crimps. So now I'm actually getting the speaker and the speaker housing and fitting the crimps onto the speakers, and then basically just 2 screws, speakers are in, then it's down to the door cards. So because when we got the car the door cards were already off, we couldn't find any of the bolts or the screws, so basically I needed to find about 6 screws, I think it was. In the end, I think we ended up using some completely different ones, but they fit, so it doesn't matter. So there you go, door card all fitted, same for the other side. Moving on. As I was saying, when we bought this, the glass had fell out of the roof, so we ended up buying another roof. Now we actually got this for a bargain. Don't worry about any of this because it's just dust. Got this for literally £25 for a full roof. Now there was a catch, and the catch was it had started leaking on the edge here. Now you definitely can't tell, but what I did is I just got some panel bond or tiger seal, and basically just tiger sealed the cloth back to the glass. Tried it, doesn't leak, and it'll probably outlast the rest of it, so that's one job fixed already. Now obviously the bodywork needs doing urgently. We need a set of wheels because it's on odd wheels. Now the main thing, which was in the thumbnail as well, is this. Now this is why we got it cheap. We actually paid 300 quid for this MX-5. It has full Mazda history, but this was the problem. So when I first bought it, someone had just fillered straight over this and it looked a mess. So I thought, right, let's send that back and see how bad it actually is. Now I was not expecting it to be this bad. So if I actually go from here, you can actually see how bad that is, and you can actually see on the door shut where it's took it as well. Now that's not too bad, but it also bogged rust, so yeah, so I had to cut all of this out because it was just literally filler. Now luckily the inner bit's alright, and the actual main sill bit's alright. It's just this outer skin which is easily repairable. Unfortunately, that's not the only bit of rust. There is quite a bit more, but it's not a rotten pair. So, as I was saying, there's a bit more rust. So if I just go to the boot, just open the boot, that's just the old carpet that. You can already see from here, it needs basically a whole boot floor. It's gone on the weld here, it's gone on the drain holes, and it's also gone on the battery tray bit. So the battery's in place at the moment, but just underneath the battery is about a 10cm patch that needs doing. And then on top of that, if I just close that, I'm not sure if it's closed or not, let me just do that. So on top of that, it also needs a little patch here, which, to be fair, I'm hoping it's solid underneath that filler, because you can see it's filler that, but I'm hoping it's pretty solid, and to be fair, it does look pretty solid. So it's just a little patch. It might get bigger, but it's a common thing on these MX-5s. And if I also go underneath the bonnet, it carries on, people, it carries on. Just find the bonnet thing. So it has actually had a Mishimoto radiator, which are nearly the price of what I paid for the car. It's got an S2000 cone filter, probably won't be staying on there. The engine bay is actually fairly clean. It has been sat. Now, the actual strut towers are solid, because they're a common thing, and one of the chassis rails is pretty solid, but unfortunately the other one, I think it's this side, just there underneath, it's got like a, I'd say 15cm patch that needs doing on the chassis rail. Might be worth just welding a whole thing in, but we're going to see how we can get on with it. And that is actually it for welding. Now, the rest of the car, it needs a set of wheels, it needs a couple of bulbs, that rear quarter needs fixing. It's on a set of max speeding rods coilovers as well, that's why it's sat pretty low. It does need a set of rear brake pads as well on top of that, but apart from that, it's a solid car. So let's do these door cards. Right, so as you would have seen, that's the door cards finished and the speakers put in. Now they will need a wash because they have been sat and they weren't on the car when we bought it. I'm going to put the chrome MX-5 trims here, so they're on order, so I haven't put them in. Now I am actually missing these bits here. I did have them and then I've lost them, so it's always great when you lose stuff. It's got the standard wheel, which will be getting changed. We're going to spec it up, we're going to, you know, make it as good as it can be. It has got the half decent Dolby entertainment system. Also has a little Jap fucking thing there. That came on it already. But yeah, so the roof's all watertight now. As you can see, there's not a single bit of water anywhere. Luckily, you can see where it was, but not anymore. So that's always good. As you say, the dash is a bit dusty and stuff, but I would start it up, but the battery's dead. So unfortunately, you're gonna have to listen to it another day. So yeah, as I said, I would start it up. It is missing the back box as well, I forgot to mention that. But we actually managed to get a full Tony Banks exhaust system. Oh, well, I say full, it was literally the back box bit. And we're gonna take the resonator and the cat out anyway. So it should be pretty, it should sound pretty nice. Now eventually, the owner does want to turbo this car. They actually want to use the TD04 turbo, which I will be using in my Alpha, you see just in there. So that should be fun, be a nice little match. Now it also does have an LSD which has been taken out of the SRT or whatever they call them, the upgraded MX-5s. It's been taken out of that, and we're basically going to make it a replica of one of them, because why not? Now you're probably asking what we're going to do with the bodywork. Now we have news on that as well. We're not actually keeping it silver, it's going a different colour, as will that be, but that's another story. Anyway, like I said, it's going a different colour, so I'd be keeping an eye out, and hopefully it'll be ready for next year. So we're in October, no, we're in November now. So we got just over a month to get this done. We want it done for January, going into New Year, which it seems doable. Next week we're going to be doing all the welding. Luckily I have my own welder and I know how to weld, so that shouldn't be a problem. Part of the reason why I bought this car. It's also on odd wind mirrors, which I just noticed on the camera then actually. She's also getting a private plate for it as well, which it'll go well with the car and the colour and everything. So yeah, that's the new little project car on the channel. You don't realise how small these actually are, and they're a really fun car as well. We actually drove it home, funny enough. It was on trade plates. Drove it from Doncaster. It did a whole hour's journey, no problems. So let us know what you think. It's going to be one of them cars that you never finish. It's a project car. If you know, you know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe. See you in the next.